So one of the biggest places that I've used power in racing is that I was off the front of a race, and it had a hill in it, and then another section was kind of a false flat, and then a downhill rest section, and then a long kind of false flat headwind. And during that race, once I was off the front, I really relied on power and looking at a certain number and not going over it based on power numbers I was getting during training, to know that if I could just stay plus or minus 20 watts, that I could do this almost indefinitely, if not for sure the duration of the race. And looking at how high that number it was, I knew that it was going to be very, very difficult for the guys I was racing against to catch me, because the effort they would have to do to catch me was really big, and there's not a lot of guys that I was racing against that was even possible for them to do it. So I rely a lot on the power meter in those types of race situations where I'm off the front and I really need to target a certain number to know that I can do that for the duration of the race. Power is different from heart rate because more or less the force will never change. Whereas your heart rate, you can wake up tired and your heart could just be really, really low, really high, and it's not a direct correlation of the effort you're doing on the bike. You could be going as hard as you can and your heart rate won't go up to show you a certain data point, or it can vary so much between stress, diet, sleep, all these things, where power doesn't really get affected by those. And then it's for sure best to use power and heart rate together so you can build a better trend graph and correlation on what you're doing on the bike to just get more substantial data that way.